Welcome, everybody. It's time to check out another indie game. I believe this one's on the short end. I'm not sure, but it's called A Drink to the Past. It is Alex and Chris as they recount 5 special cafe experiences through their own eyes. Perspective, each story is told through changes based on whether you're in the mood for coffee or a chocolatey drink. So let's check it out. You can see all their itches are above us here. alexesk.itch.io, chrislsound.itch.io, and then we got the mauhousegames.itch.io / a drink to the past. Check it out. And let's check it out ourselves. I don't know. Oh, look at this. Welcome to Applecrest Farm. Which drink would you like? Would you like hot chocolate? Would you like coffee? Plus coding plus half of the writing, and Chris did some nice. That's really cool. I'm a cat. I'm a cat. I want a chocolatey drink. Got chocolate. I visited Chris in New Hampshire for one of his shows just before St. Patrick's Day, and due to a freak snowstorm, stayed a week longer since my flight home was canceled. Chris took the opportunity to invite me to a homie. Intrinsically New England eatery, Applecrest Farm, where I had my first taste of fresh apple cider donuts and pure maple syrup. The star of the meal was my cast iron Dutch baby pancake plate, speckled with powdered sugar and freckled with fresh blueberries and lemon zest. When the waitress presented the platter to me, I was so excited that I almost burned my tongue from the heat of the pan the dough was housed in. The smiles and laughter of the meal we shared in the comfy Barnhouse Bistro shines brightly in my memory. Oh. Meow. Meow, meow, meow. Look at all these little creatures around here. Welcome to Brewbox. Which drink would you like? Would you like hot chocolate? Or would you like coffee? I'm gonna take chocolate again. The very first day of October I spent on the East Coast, Chris brought me to the most delightfully spooky town in the USA, Salem, Massachusetts. Everywhere bustled with an air of magic and mystery, intensifying the more we explored the town of witches. People dressed in costumes crowded the streets, and every shopkeep's eye twinkled with mischief, regaling stories of wizards and wonder to curious patrons. To prep ourselves for the attraction which brought us to Salem, a food truck festival, we ducked into a coffee shop featuring a witch-hatted skeleton at its window, aptly named Brewbox. In the center of the shop, a circle of bats surrounded the central pillar, and Halloween decor sprang from every awning. I only faintly remember the taste of the marshmallow-flavored hot chocolate I bought, but the magic of the day we spent in that town remains with me. Shit, okay. Oh, we storying now. Alright, hello. Welcome to L.A. Burdick. Well, you know I gotta go with that hot chocolate. I'll go to this table this time. It was getting dark on a late October night in Boston, and to keep ourselves awake from an even later... What the fuck? Giraffage live show, We huddled into a storefront with resplendent yellow windows and sweet Halloween decorations. The welcoming, cozy little chocolate shop lifted my spirit and warmed my frozen bones with its tiny candy ghost smiling, behind a glass case and fancy embellished cake slices. L.A. Burdic's smooth, velvety dark chocolate somehow retained its splendor and thickness despite being swirled into a cup of thin almond milk. The drink Chris got, a white chocolate mocha, was unreal in how deliciously it mixed its coffee and chocolate. I've now found a cup of hot chocolate that even remotely compares to how decadent this one tasted. Oh, thank you. Y'all are so kind. Okay, we got some cheering going on in this one. There's a big old deer menu up there. Cafe and cotton. Well, you know I'm going that chocolate. Ooh, look at this little corner over here. In an old Massachusetts mill for a pre-December holiday maker market, we rode a rickety elevator to a surprisingly cozy and playfully decorated hallway. The hall was totally packed with dozens of unique vendors selling all manner of trinkets, homemade foods, art pieces, and more. Twinkle lights adorned the signs of shops, and at the first caught our eyes was Coffee and Cotton with its delightfully fitting reindeer logo. We ordered and chose a comfortable booth hideaway tucked in the corner of the room. They had just debuted some new scones, one of which I tried and enjoyed, though I don't recall the flavor, and some hot chocolate warmed by my frigid body. Snow, a near foreign concept as someone who grew up in the southern USA, fit the holiday mood perfectly as it started falling outside the window. Christmas spirit overflowed as we shopped for gifts for our loved ones. That's adorable. Oh, growing up without snow. I grew up in Ohio. We had snow. I always did like the snow, though. Welcome to Coffee Bar. Which drink would you like? Well, hot chocolate, of course. Alright. Down here. We'd been driving for many, many hours past gigantic vineyards, across sprawling cow pastures, and through burning forests. Reached my little sister Nikki's wedding destination. Tired from a long trip and lack of sleep, we parked in front of a large hotel at the forefront of Olympic Valley. We gravitated toward a small but hip-looking coffee shop in the middle of the ski town named Coffee Bar. I'll never forget how the little glass cup of hot chocolate instantly filled me with the strength I needed so desperately. On the side were 2 gluten-free pumpkin donut holes, a lovely find for the beginning of fall and the perfect snack accompanying the empowering drink. We couldn't have started that week in a better way, and it became our morning ritual in the days that followed. Oh shit. Coffee shop, I gotta talk to you on this side? No. In Colorado? Oh, yeah, Chris. It's mostly just dust of the streets when I used to live, fair enough. You've never seen snow? Have you been in Florida your whole life, Mom? Welcome to Phil's. Which drink would you like? Probably that chocolate. Hell yeah. For a little while, Chris and I would snag a corner seat at our local Phil's every Sunday morning to indulge in delicious drinks and brainstorm ideas for future games. A loved one once worked there and would concoct special drinks to power us up as we brewed characters and stories. The drink was made my absolute favorite way, an iced chocolate with creamy oat milk, a drizzle of honey, and the tiniest hint of hazelnut coffee to bring out the chocolatey taste. We still occasionally fill our Sunday mornings with Phil's game dev sessions, our creativity fueled by the scent of coffee and peaceful surroundings. Thank you for playing. That was great. That was a nice little story. I like those nice little stories. That was beautiful. Yeah, we're gonna do coffee this time. Applecrest Farm. Coffee time. It was midwinter. The time for pickling apples had long passed. Have you ever seen apple trees in winter? Alien, wretched, emaciated hands bursting from the earth, petrified and reaching skyward. Rows and rows flowed along the farm hills. A small grocery store was inside a nearby barn. It sold all sorts of things made on the farm: pies, jams, fresh produce, apple cider donuts. Deeper inside was a full bakery and even a restaurant. The seating area was like the big living room of a ski lodge. Wooden walls, cross beams lined with warm holiday-style lights, arrays of windows letting in the morning sun. Stone hearths with gentle fires keeping everyone warm. The atmosphere and emotion of a meal are just as important as the food. All three were perfect here. I am not a coffee drinker. Welcome to Brewbox. Yeah, we got the coffee. No, coffee doesn't just mesh with me for some reason. I've tried it multiple times. I usually just stick to water. Yeah, it's just not my favorite thing, that's all. The two people I live with, well, two of the people I live with are huge coffee drinkers. They break out the whole shebang. It's interesting to see. And I get it, for sure. Turn into a bee. This place wholly embraced its pop culture identity. Inside and out, the whole town was decked out in decorations. Visitors and workers alike wandered the streets in costume. Every other building, a haunted site offering guided tours. There were the expected stores selling Halloween paraphernalia of dubious quality. Even those were rather fun. But the real black magic came from shops entirely dedicated to wands, spellbooks, cauldrons, and all manner of witchcraft. Some were legitimately invested in the spirituality of it all, warm and inviting. Others were simply for fun, though they were entirely and unwaveringly in character. Sometimes it was hard to tell one from another. Welcome to L.A. Burdick again. Yeah, like, I've tried it throughout my life. If I'm really tired, like, if I pulled nearly an all-nighter or something, I might grab a double espresso or something just to try to perk myself up, but, like, in general, just not something I drink. I usually just drink water most of the time, and if I have something else, soda, probably. The occasional tea. A chilly autumn evening. We had some time before concert doors opened. We were in desperate need of a warm drink. We headed to a nearby shop on a whim. What we expected to be a quick coffee and hot chocolate turned out to be the greatest chocolate drinks ever crafted by mankind. Look at that gorgeous little rainbow of color. A chocolate shop taken straight out of the fantasy world. Dusk outside. Cold air carried the scent of winter encroaching. Inside held warm, soft light and hypnotizing aroma of chocolate. Contrast between outdoors and indoors amplified the shop's magical atmosphere. Hey, you really did. Yeah, water is tasty. Alright. Grab that coffee. Let's go down in this little corner spot. Another winter outing. Christmas in New England. We drove to a maker's market as snow fell gently yet steadily. Like most things in New England, this marketplace looked like an old, repurposed mill building. The outside was drab and unassuming, but the inside emanated the warm glow of string lights and hearths. This contrast, only possible in inclement weather, is something that has always filled me with joy and comfort. I have dearly missed it since moving away. The market was packed with a wide variety of sellers, from knickknacks to paddywhacks to give a dog a taxidermy. Fashion to incense. Handmade snacks to handmade jewelry. Overwhelmed with options, we stopped in a coffee bar hidden amongst the other shops. We enjoyed a simple drink to give us energy for the rest of the market. I saw knickknacks, and that's just the first thing that comes to my head. So many pattywags that day. Our first time venturing north of Los Angeles, headed to a wedding near Lake Tahoe. Terrible forest fires were raging in that area at the time, but the wedding was still on. We could see and smell smoke from quite a ways away as we drove the long 8 hours to Olympic Village. When we finally arrived, the whole valley was blanketed in smoky haze. Nearly all the businesses kept strange hours and were closed. Mercifully, however, there was a single coffee shop still open. It was a friendly little place. The energizing drink and the clean, filtered air was a welcome respite. This coffee shop was a quiet and pleasant way to start each morning that weekend, before the stressful wedding events claimed us. Throughout the weekend, the terrible haze continued, and got worse, and worse, and worse. Except, miraculously, on the day of the wedding itself, we went to another coffee shop. When we first moved to Los Angeles, we had a friend who worked at a coffee shop. They were able to get us free drinks pretty often. Thanks to my partner's charming personality, the other employees started to recognize us. Even to this day, several years later, we have a decent chance of getting free drinks when we visit. That shop has been many things for us over the years. An air-conditioned sanctuary in the dreadful summers, a delicious joy to share with visiting loved ones, a haven for creative work on early Sunday mornings. I'm sure we'll eventually move away from Southern California. When we do, I know this coffee shop will be one of the fondest and most defining memories of our time here. Thank you for playing. Oh, that was lovely. That was really lovely. I mean, I live in SoCal now. Pretty nice here, if it wasn't so pricey. But otherwise, pretty nice. Yeah, no problem. That was really fun. Nice little story. If you want to check out this story yourself, all the links up there. meowhousegames.itch.io/a drink to the past is where this game is specifically, but the creators are above that, alixesque.itch and chrislsound.itch. So check them out, follow them, give them some love. I should have probably just put it in the center of the screen the way this one was, but I didn't want to... Oh, what the hell? I'm looking at my mouse through OBS. But that's okay. The nice things all around, yeah. Right, well, YouTubers, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to check out these two wonderful artists. Again, all links will be in the description, so check them out. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'd appreciate that as well. Positive vibes. Have a good night.